Hey, what's up, you guys? What's up, court mandated family? This is Derek Collins here with the Diversion Center, here to talk to you guys about information is power. Information is power. What do I mean by that? I always say that education will get you in the front door, but information will get you in the back door where the real money is. And if you want to go to the next level, make sure that you get information. And that's what's hidden from a lot of people in business or even in our field of private practice. People don't have access to certain information. And that can be like the game changer for your business that will take you from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7 figures. And a lot of people are not making the money that they're making that they want to make is because they don't have the information or they're not willing to put in the work, um, or they're just arrogant. Um, and what do I mean by being arrogant? They just don't believe other people. They know everything. But if they knew everything, they would be doing better than what they're doing. So arrogance is an issue because they think everything's a scam. They're going to do everything on their own, and they don't want to have a network. That is arrogance, and that's what usually gets people in trouble. Is their ego. Or two, lack of information. They don't have the right information or the tools that will take them to the next level. For example, um, I was watching a video on running long distance, and uh, one of the advice that they give people to run faster and longer is getting a certain type of shoe. And if you're running the wrong type of shoe, your times are going to be slower because it's just not giving you the necessary support to move fast while running. And that makes sense to me because I'm like, I can't be running long distance in a basketball shoe. It makes no sense. And it's so funny when I go on the treadmill, I'm running on, I'm doing long distance running in basketball shoes that are not designed for long distance running. Makes no sense. But when I have the right type of shoe on my feet, like some running shoes, I actually run faster and I run longer. So that makes total sense to me. So sometimes people just don't have access to the right information, or they don't want to put in the work, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just going to do the bare minimum," or "I'm not going to put in the extra hour," and not realizing doing an extra hour every week for 52 weeks that gives you 52 more weeks or 52 more hours advantage on your competition. And that's what you guys have to think about. What are you doing? How much more are you putting in for your business, for your family? Because that's what it's all about. It's about your business and your family. And you need to put in the time, do the research, go on YouTube, look things up. It's funny how so many people want to come to me and they want me to look stuff up for them. I'm like, hey, I'm not looking it up for you. Um, you have to invest more in your business than I will. So look stuff up on your own. I can't tell you the market in your city. I can't tell you the market in your state. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is look it up because that's what I had to do because it's my business. I have to look it up. Um, Look things up. Do your research. Go on YouTube, but do not do so much research where you're getting analysis paralysis because that's where a lot of people go wrong. They spend most of their time just looking stuff up and not getting things done. And you have to get things done. Excuse me. You have to get things done. You're not going to research your way to millions or even thousands of dollars. You're going to have to do some kind of action. You're going to have to take some action. Sorry guys, my nose is going crazy. I hate when this happens. This only happens when I start filming. So take some action. The Bible says faith without works is dead, so you're gonna have to take action. And it says works. So that means you're gonna have to take multiple actions. So make sure that you're doing what you need to do to find the information, and then you get the information, and then you apply it. Okay, you need to apply pressure. Okay, so make sure that you're doing that. You're taking action. Stop making excuses. Stop procrastinating, and just take action and get it done. Stop looking for ways to weasel out. Get it done. And um, expose yourself to the good life. I don't care if you have to go on Airbnb and rent out a mansion for the day and go stay in it, or go on Turo and rent a car, a luxury vehicle, and drive it one day. Experience luxury. Experience what you really want, because a lot of times um, we don't get what we want because we're not exposed to what we want. So expose yourself to different things. Broaden your horizons. We only have one life. I recently got word that one of my classmates died from high school, and I'm like, man, that's she's young. She's 43 years old. We're not promised tomorrow, so live it up now and get information. I'm serious. Get as much information as you can, because information is power. There's certain things that I know now that I didn't know 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that if I would have known this stuff 5 or 10 years ago, I'd be in a different place right now. Now, granted, I'm in a good place right now, but I could be in a way better place. And I'm grateful for what I have. I'm extremely grateful. And I want you guys to live with gratitude and just really focus on getting the information. So, what, Derek, what information are you talking about? Whether it could be information on providing evaluations, there's information on getting grants, there's information on um, getting contracts. So, for example, let's say you want to get a contract with the government. Those are contracts I pursue, by the way, because I want to get big money. So I'm going to register my business on sam.gov and apply for government contracts. But most people are not willing to do that work and go through that lengthy process of going on sam.gov, because it's lengthy and it takes time. It's it's something that you don't want to necessarily do, and that the government takes long to process it. But once you're on there, you have the ability to bid on contracts. And these contracts are paying, in some cases, millions of dollars. And these are, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year contracts that is available to you in your business. Just look it up. Go on sam.gov and look up the contracts that they offer for substance abuse or counseling or substance use disorders or domestic violence, and see what you find for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You go look it up yourself and look at the different opportunities that they have available for even uh, uh, substance abuse counseling, intervention, diversion programs. See what they have on there. Also, there's grants at grants.gov. You can apply for grants on there as well, but you have to be registered in SAM first, and that is a process. But most people are like, I'm not doing that work. Well, that's why you don't make the money that I make, because you're not willing to do the work that I'm willing to do. You guys have to be willing to do the work and not just talk about it and wish and hope and dream. There are people that are qualified and have the same credentials as you, making 10 times what you're making, because they're willing to do the extra work. Instead of scrolling through Facebook, instead of scrolling through Instagram, instead of going on Netflix, um, there are people that are looking at grants, they're looking at contracts and bidding on this stuff. And they don't allow fear to stop them from having analysis paralysis and have an imposter syndrome, and they just bid on this stuff anyway. Now, have I bid on grants and have I bid on contracts that I did not get? Yes, I have. Have I bid on contracts that I did get? Yes, I have. But it's totally up to you. That stuff is available to you. Okay? But you have to put in the work. So go on sam.gov, register your business. And then also you can take it to another level and get certain certifications like women owned business, minority owned business, veteran owned business. And that is a process as well. But once you get that established, you're good to go. And you get priorities consideration when you're bidding on these grants or bidding on these contracts. Um, Also, there are some grants that require you to be a nonprofit. So if you haven't started a business yet, you can um, register your business as a nonprofit before you get started and bid on these grants that are offering $250,000, $300,000, $400,000 to these nonprofits. And I want you guys to go after big grants, big contracts, so you don't have to work and nickel and dime and be, you know, um, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills from month to month or from year to year because you got this contract paying you $1.5 million every year and you're set. These are the things I want you guys to think about getting information. All right. Information like this comes through mentorship or it comes through research or it comes from you just being tenacious and not accepting um, no for an answer and just going after it and say, hey, I want to live a certain lifestyle. I want to live well, and there's nothing wrong with it. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to be a broke therapist. You can be rich, and it's okay to be rich. It's okay to drive nice. It's okay to wear nice things. It's okay to have nice jewelry. It's okay to go on vacation and not worry about the bill. It's okay to take care of your family. It's okay to put your kids in private school. It is okay um, for you to live with freedom and not worry about how much stuff costs all the time. It's okay. Accept that. Embrace it. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to struggle. Like this poor man, this poor woman talk. Like, man, I'm in a couple of therapy groups, and it's amazing how people talk. Their language is like filled with fear, and it's filled with disbelief, and they wonder why certain things don't work out for them. And I tell people, God doesn't like the lazy. He hates lazy people. And if you want to be lucky, if you want God to bless you, start working hard. Start putting in work and start changing your mindset and start changing your language. I went to a restaurant just yesterday and I asked the lady, I said, hey, how much do you want me to tip you? I told her, whatever you say, I'm going to tip you. She said, oh, whatever is in your heart to give me, I'll take it. I said, ma'am, this is a test. This is a test. How much do you want me to tip you? Oh, whatever in your heart. Ma'am, this is a test. How much do you want me to tip you? Oh, well, you give me $2. You don't even have to tip me. It's okay. You can just give me $2. And I looked at her and I said, don't ever say this again. If someone ever comes to you and asks you how much you want me to tip you, you better say $1 million. You better say something high. because they might just have it, and you never know who you're dealing with. And it showed me the mindset that she had. It's like, man, you only value yourself as $2. That's all you value yourself. $2. That's it. Now I wasn't gonna give her $1 million because I don't got it like that. I don't have $1 million to tip anybody, but I was gonna go as high as 100. And I mean, my bill was only like $20. If she would have said $100, I would have gave her $100. But because she said $2, I couldn't do it in my heart to give her $2. So I gave her 10. I tipped her 10. I was like, you said two, but I'm not. No, here's $10. But if she would have said 100, I would have paid. I would have tipped her 100. You know, and that just shows me the mindset of people. And I've done little experiments like this before with other people. I've offered people jobs that were at other places. I would go into Walmart, and me and my wife would go in there and offer people jobs and say, hey, and we offered people jobs that gave us great customer service, by the way, and had a great disposition. And we would say, hey, come work for us, and we'll pay you more money. And for whatever reason, they didn't take us up on the offer, or they didn't believe us, or they thought we were full of it. And we give them a card and show them that, hey, we're legit. Look us up online, whatever. But you know, who knows why? But if you want to test people's mindset, test them. And unfortunately, there's a lot of therapists and counselors that have the wrong mindset, and they just only because they never seen it and they never been exposed to it, they just don't believe it. While I'm over here, you know, I'll be in California tomorrow. I'll be flying to California tomorrow. But while I'm over here going flying to different countries or different states or whatever, and doing my work remotely on my time, they're like, "Oh, I don't believe that that's possible." Uh, Man, I'm trying to tell you, it's possible. I do it all the time. I got videos of me doing it virtually in this group. I got videos of me in freaking Punta Cana or freaking doing evals. Me and my wife doing evals. Like you guys can do it. You don't have to be strapped to a desk, um, writing notes, seeing clients all day, and waiting for the insurance panels to pay you. It's like, no, I get paid instantly. Also charge a $100 rescheduling fee. If they need to reschedule, they don't show up for their appointment, they pay me $100. But that's my mindset. Most people wouldn't do that. They're like, oh, well, you might lose a client. Well, I value myself. My time is valuable. So if you miss your appointment, you're going to have to pay me $100 to reschedule. That's just the way it is. You lose your certificate, you have to pay me $60 for a replacement certificate. Those are my policies. I value myself um, in a high regard. So I want you all to value yourselves and put standards and have procedures in place that, protect your time and protect your sanity and protect your mental health because, you know, even when I just got off a sales call just now, someone was interested in signing up for my business in a box program. I don't pressure people, because I don't need the money. And that's the thing. I don't pressure people. It's like, hey, if you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. And I don't pressure people. I tell them the information. If it makes sense for them, they get it. And that comes from a place of being comfortable because I'm already making money. And that's why I want you guys to get to a place where you're already making money and you're already comfortable, you're already confident, you believe in yourself, and you don't really stress out over certain things. Because I mean, I remember when I first started, and I was stressed out about money, and I was like, man. And my wife would tell you guys, she would laugh at me because I would literally meet people in libraries to go teach their class because if they didn't have a car, and this is before Zoom, by the way, they didn't have a car and they needed a class done, I would go drive my car and meet them in their area and meet them at a Chick-fil-A in the business area, Chick-fil-A, or the library in their area and do their class right there. I've done it, man. Man, my first year in business. Oh, you need a class? Oh, man, I drive 30 minutes, drive an hour, and give them their class, drop off their certificate and everything. Meet me at Starbucks. We'll do the class there. No, well, I never did it at Starbucks, but I did it in the Chick-fil-A Business Center, or I did it at a public library in one of those private rooms. Oh yeah, did all that hustling because I needed a check. I needed the money. I needed the bag. I was struggling. You know, my rent at the office space that I was at the time was only $99 a month. But I had my regular rent at my apartment that I needed to pay, so I had to go get it. But most people, they're not willing to go get it. They'll make excuses and all that stuff now. But you have to do the hard work before you can work smart, and that's what it's all about. You got to put in the hard work before you work smart, and you got to be willing to do the work. But no one's not now. They don't want to pay their dues. You have to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues, ladies and gentlemen. They're like, oh, I want to get it now. I even tell my team, the team that works for me, I'm like, y'all got to pay y'all dues. You have to pay your dues. You just can't be, oh, I'm going to make this amount of money. I told my team, I have no problem paying anyone here $100,000 a year. You provide me $100,000 worth of value, I will pay it. Actually, you got to pay me. Actually, you got to provide more than 100,000. You provide me more than $100,000 worth of value, I'll pay it because taxes, and I have to make a profit. So I tell people, there's no accident that, let's say, the CEO of Disney is making like $40 million a year. He's making $40 million a year because he probably brings in $100 million worth of business every year. So they have no problem paying him $40 million a year, and that's why I tell my team, I was like, hey, I'll pay you 100 grand a year or 200 grand. I'll even pay you $1 million a year. You bring in revenue. You help me get rich. I'm gonna help you get rich. And they get bonuses. They get weekly bonuses for performance, and that's how I roll. But you got to earn it. I ain't gonna hand you, and I'm not handing you stuff. You got to earn it because no one handed me anything. I had to work for everything I got. So that's the mindset that I want you all to have. Like, hey, if you put like right now, I'm on YouTube on my cell phone, and I study this channel called Butterfly Spanish because I want to be fluent in Spanish. So I have to put in an hour a day. I told myself I'd do an hour a day. So I'm teaching myself Spanish through watching YouTube videos. It's a channel called Butterfly Spanish. She's a great teacher. So she basically provides tutoring in Spanish. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do an hour a day. I can do an hour a day, 5 days a week. I can do that. And 52 weeks from now, my Spanish should be excellent, or if not excellent, above average. So if I commit to that, I should be good to go. 52 hours, 52 hours. I have 52 hours clocked in. I haven't done it today. I got to get it in. I did it yesterday, and I got to get it in today. But an hour is not long. I spend more time scrolling through Instagram. Why am I studying Spanish? Is because I know if I speak fluent Spanish, because my Spanish right now is about I would say about 50%. If I speak fluent Spanish, I make more money. I can see more clients. I can talk to more people. I could possibly bid on more contracts. And you know, and it literally costs me nothing. The only thing it costs me is my time, and I could do an hour a day. What's an hour a day? Costs me nothing but my time. It's free, and that's the point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube has so many resources. You want to learn how to do something? Go on YouTube. It's there. There's also a website called Skillshare that you can use. to learn how to do different things. I forgot how much the membership is. I'm a member of it. I forgot how much I paid, but I know it's not expensive. Um, but Skillshare is another website you can use to learn how to do different skills. But just be careful. Like, don't learn too much stuff. One of the things that I do, I try to do one thing at a time. So if I'm my focus right now is just Spanish. I'm not focusing on multiple things because I want to master that. And then once I master that, I move on to something else. Because what happens is we'll put 20% learning this, 20% learning this, 40% learning this, and we don't get anything done. So one of the things that I do, I put 100% in one thing and I learn it severely fast. So that's what I want you guys to do. You want to put 100% in one thing and learn it severely fast. And then that's how I'm able to get ahead of people because I'll put all my energy into one thing. Or if I can't learn it, I outsource it. So I'll outsource it to a professional that knows what they're doing. For example, I was struggling with my ClickFunnels. I don't know if you guys are familiar with ClickFunnels, but I have a ClickFunnels account. And this is why I say hire professionals. This is why I say go to experts. I was struggling to do something on ClickFunnels for 2 days. I even went on YouTube to figure it out, and I did what the guy told me on YouTube, but it didn't work. So luckily, because I went to this seminar, I met this guy, and this is why it's important to have a network of people that you can call to get help from. Don't be a one man show. Don't live on an island. Don't be that person that's antisocial. This is why it's important for you to meet other people in other professions that have different skill sets and to go to different seminars and different trainings. So I went to Funnel Hacking Live one year and met this guy. We've been good friends ever since. And I called him because he works for ClickFunnels. And I called him and said, man, Ayash, man, I need help, man. I need help with this. I'm trying to figure this out. When I say this dude figured it out in 2 seconds and fixed my funnel literally in 2 seconds, I was just like, I felt so, number one, I felt dumb. And number two, I was like, this is why it's important to work with experts. He's an expert in ClickFunnels. He knows everything about ClickFunnels. I spent 2 days trying to figure this stuff out. I call him, he figures it out in 2 seconds. He already knows what to do. Fixes it in 2 seconds and laughs. And I'd rather waste money than time. And this man saved me a whole bunch of time by just me calling him. I should have called him before I even went on YouTube. But anyway, that's the point I'm trying to make. Some of us just try to like figure stuff out on our own and waste a whole bunch of time, or you can just pay a professional or call someone you know and get it fixed just like that. That's why it's important to have experts on your team. And that goes back to where I started this conversation about information. Experts have information. So my question for you guys is how many experts do you know? How many experts can you touch? How many experts can you call? If you need to get a passport expedited for your children, is there anyone that you can call that can make that happen? I have 4 children. If I need to get them rushed through the passport process, do I have someone I could call to get them rushed through? If I'm having a tax problem, do I have someone that works at the IRS that can help me out? These are the things that the big dogs do. Is there someone that I can call that I know at the federal government that can push my grant paperwork through the agency that I'm applying to? I'm trying to tell you, these are things that you guys need to get and understand and be like, you know what? I need to get in different rooms to get around some different circles of people and learn some different things. And once, and because that's how I learned all the stuff I know, is because I learned it from going to different trainings, going to different seminars, talking to people, not just going to the training and being antisocial and talking to people in different career paths than mine. I was the only therapist. I always say this: I'm the only therapist or counselor in the room at the majority of trainings that I go to. I'm the only one, and I do that purposely so I could add value to someone that may not know, not be familiar about what I do, and someone can add value to me because I may not be familiar about what they do. So, get in rooms, pay for masterminds. Don't be cheap. Money saves you time. I'm telling you, money saves you time. Spend that money, man. I'm telling you, spend it. It actually saves you time, and it actually makes you more money, especially if you get the right information, and especially if you implement it. Do the math. Does the math make sense? I always tell people it has to make sense. Math. I'm always pulling out my cell phone and going to my calculator and being like, okay, let's say I'll do an alcohol and drug evaluation today. That's $200 plus an anger management evaluation. That's 150 plus a custody case evaluation. That's 300 plus let's say a SAP evaluation. That's 500. I just made $1,150 for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of work. So $1,150. Okay, I can do 4 hours of work for $1,150. I can do that. The math makes sense. I'm like, okay, that's just for one day. That's like one day, and that's just. I mean, we do way more than that, but that's just a short example, you know. Or you know, if I do SAP evaluation plus substance abuse evaluation and custody case plus out of state evaluation plus anger management evaluation plus a mental health evaluation. How much is that? That's 500. Hold on, let me go back. Mental health evaluation plus I don't know how many people in substance abuse group. 20 times 45. I don't know that number, so I'll just round that up to I'll just say $800. Okay, we made $2,500 for today. So 25550, 2,500 bucks for today. Okay, I'll do it and just repeat, you know. And then you say, all right, well, let's say I made 2,500 for today. Let's say I made $2,500 for the day times there's 365 days in a year. So I'm not going to work 365 days in a year. So let's say I only work 300 days in a year times 300. So if I make $2,500 a day for 300 days in a year, I'll make $750,000 for the year. You guys understand the importance of analyzing your business, analyzing your numbers, getting the right information, and seeing the value in what you're doing? Because they say a cynic knows the cost of everything and the value of nothing. I think that was a quote by Oscar Wilde. The cynic knows the cost of everything and the value of nothing. And that's where it doesn't make sense to me why people don't understand certain values. It's like, man, I'm going to give up small money to get the big money. I'm going to give up small to get the big. Or I'm going to give up this time to potentially get this big money. There's a grant that I'm waiting on right now, 1.5 million that I'm waiting on. And I put in a lot of time to apply for this grant. I wrote the grant, got it all perfect and nice, and I sacrificed a lot of time and energy into applying for this grant. Am I going to get it? I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear back from the government. But um, I gave up some little money and some time to apply for that 1.5. Some people are not willing to do that. Some people are so stuck on this little money or this time that they're not willing to be like, nah, I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna apply for this big money over here. This is $1.5 million that is easy money that is paying me potentially for stuff that I already do. If I get it, that's 1.5 basically going straight to my pocket and paying me for stuff that I already do. Everyone everyone on my team is going to get a raise as well. But these are the things I want you guys to think about. Analyze what you're doing every single day. Analyze how you're spending your time. Is it worth your time? On Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever. And I know you guys are watching me on Facebook right now, but you're watching me because you're learning something. That's different. But analyze what you're doing every single day. And are you having Groundhog Day every single day? Or are you analyzing like, you know what? I had a great day today. What did I eat? How much did I sleep last night? Why do I feel so good today? And analyze it and try to recreate that day. Or, man, I had a bad day today. What did I eat? Okay. How much sleep did I have? What did I drink? What did I watch? What did I listen to? And pay attention to what you're doing every single day so you're not repeating that bad day. So when I have a really good day, I'm paying attention to what I did every day through that day. I'm paying attention to what I did through that day that made it a good day. What did I eat? How much did I sleep? What did I watch? What did I do? What did I drink? Which way did I drive to work? Which way did I drive home? I'm analyzing all that stuff. So I try to recreate that success. Also, if I had a bad day, or if my team had a bad day, what went wrong? What did we do? Um, how can we get better? Um, for example, one of my team members told me about a training I should offer. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. She gave me a new training that I just posted on my website today that I'm offering because we're getting a lot of calls from people asking us how to um, basically, once they're a SAP, what do you do after that? Like they need help learning how to process these evaluations and submit them. And they don't really know what they're doing. Even though they're qualified and trained to provide these evaluations, they're still stuck. Some people just need a person to walk them through it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna provide that training now because a lot of people are asking me for it. But my team, they notice, they pay attention to what people are asking for when they call our office and they tell me about it. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this training now. So I got a training that I'm doing at the end of next month, and for people that need help starting the process of providing these different evaluations. So pay attention. Pay attention to how you're spending money. Why did somebody get that money from you? What did they do? Yeah, you might have been craving it, but what did they do to get your money? Because I said this before in a previous video. You don't make money, you take money. You take money. You don't make it, you take it. Because we're not able to print money. We're not the federal government, so we take money from people. Not in a bad way. We take it for providing a service or providing a product. So ask yourself, how are people taking money from you? What are they doing? Because they might provide an environment, a good environment for you to give up your money to them. Like for example, I always talk about Vegas because that's one of my favorite cities. Vegas, they give you free drinks when if you're playing on the table. If you're gambling, if you're on that roulette table, the waitress is coming by, giving you free drinks. They're putting you in a great environment for you to spend money. And they make sure that the ceilings are set up to a situation to where you never know what time it is outside. If you go to MGM Grand and you play inside the casino, you'll never know what time it is outside by looking outside because they everything's blocked. You never know. So you never know what time it is unless you look at your watch or your phone, and they're giving you free drinks. And they got the massage lady coming by. Now she's not giving free massages, but she has. They have a massage people coming by, and I think they charge like $1 a minute, something like that, to give you massages and to have you comfortable while you're losing your money. So I hope this helps, guys. Man, I did not plan on talking this long. So yeah, information changes things. Information is power. Get it at all costs. Hey, you guys know where I'm at. If you need me, I'm here. If not, it's all good. Once again, there's all kinds of content in this group. Watch it, apply it, don't play with it. And you guys know where to find me if you need help. But other than that, y'all be great. Talk to you guys later.